I think the main mistake that young producers make.
So I'm here at ADE with Mr. David Guetta, Jack back. How are you, sir?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
I put this interview in a group on my Facebook that I was interviewing, and the big question that always came out was, why have you done this Jack back thing? And I'm not going to ask you that because I watched that amazing video you did with Beatport, and that explains it all. So I'm going to put that in the card thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, that interview was really good.
It was incredible. Honest,
thank you.
I didn't know you did that stuff with Daft Punk, and I didn't know that so much. Like I'm honestly a massive fan, and I knew a lot about you, but I didn't know about the Daft Punk stuff. So
well, yeah, they just helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just ask some stuff about helping DJs get further. I wanted to ask you about some tips, maybe 5 things producers need to know from your experience and years of experience.
Ooh. Okay. I think the main mistake that young producers make is that they focus so much on the technical aspect of production that sometimes, you know, they forget that being an artist is having something to say.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. And, you know, some of my records, when I listen to them, some of them are not amazingly produced. Some of them sound really, really good. Some of them sound less good.
Yeah.
But they're saying something. They're an artistic statement.
Yes.
And I'm saying this because my nephew is trying to be a producer.
Right.
He's a producer. And I keep telling him this because, you know, at first he was always asking me technical questions. And at some point he got that technical level.
Yeah.
But I'm telling him, like, okay, now you can produce, so what?
Yes.
You know?
What else have you got in your locker?
It's you know, because if you have a guy that can make a fake Picasso, but he's only a copycat.
Yes.
What matters is Picasso said something that was never been said before.
Yes, so you have to stand for something as an artist, and you have to believe in something.
That to me is the number one.
Yes.
And you know, many times in my career I've been very criticized because I was out of the box.
Yeah.
But if you see on the long run, most of the time by being out of the box, I created something that was new, and I created a new way to approach our music.
Yes.
And yes, I was criticized, but if you look a few years after, everybody was also doing this.
Yes.
So
did you ever worry about the criticism? Did you ever
of course, because sometimes they bother me, of course, but not really anymore, to be honest. But at the beginning, sometimes I was suffering from it, but I really always believed in what I was doing. And you know, I'm not gonna, I never want to base my decision on fear. I want to base my decision on love and passion.
Amazing.
So a lot of people base their decision on fear to be criticized, you know. It's like DJs play, a lot of DJs, they play for other DJs.
Or play records that they think other people want to hear instead of the ones they absolutely love.
Instead of the people that are dancing, you're playing for the people that are in front of you. You're not playing for other DJs. You're playing for DJs. Like, you know, sometimes a lot of famous DJs are coming in the DJ booth. I'm not changing what I'm playing because I'm playing for the people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
But most DJ would say, "Ooh, he's here. I need to be super cool." But what, you're gonna fuck up your dance floor because one guy is here? This doesn't make sense to me.
Yes.
You know, and the reality is that also big DJs, we respect each other because we're good at what we're doing, not because, you know, I can listen to some other DJs and not necessarily love the music they're playing, but if they make it right, I can see that. If they're killing the dance floor, I'm like, this guy is good.
Yes.
If their program, if what they do is congruent, is telling a story,
Yep.
then I respect that, you know,
Or
even if it's not the same story that I like to tell.
Always on record selection.
Yeah.
One of the things that I absolutely, when I was saying to you earlier, I used to watch you stand behind you at a famous club, and the record selection was always the one thing that I absolutely loved about you, and still do, man.
Yeah. So other tips, because that was a bit long.
That's cool.
I mean, I think that's the main tip, and of course, it's important to make it sound big.
Yep.
Obviously, because. But again, if you make it sound big and your music is shit, then what's the point?
Yes.
You know. So.
When you were coming up, was there ever a point, was there ever a track where you thought, no, that's not going to work, no, that's not going to work, and then you hit one and thought, this is the one? What was that track? Did you throw away a load of tracks, I guess I'm asking?
Same. People, they tell me like, oh yeah, that could be considered a tip too. Like, a lot of people say, oh, all your records are hits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's just because I pick certain records, but my hard drive is full of shitty records that I made.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't put them out.
Yes.
So that's what it is. You know, when I make an album, and it's probably, you know, let's say 16 songs.
Yes.
I usually made 150 songs.
Wow.
And everything else goes to trash.
Yes.
So this is what you need to understand. Like, it's not. I'm not a magician that everything I touch is gold. I just work a lot, and keep the best.
Yes. I'm loving that. I love that. Hard work always. It's always what I used to tell everyone. Hard work.
Yeah, of course.
Work hard, work long, and keep going.
Of course.
Do you have any regrets?
Hmm?
Do you have any regrets? Or anything that you thought, I should have done that, and then later it popped and you thought, I missed that one?
Not really. I have records. Sometimes I hear records that Calvin Harris made, and I'm like, why didn't I do this? You know. So it's not really a regret. It's more like when I hear a record that I think is amazing.
Yes.
And I wish I've done it.
Yes.
And I could have done it because this is my sensibility. Because of course, if I hear a record that is amazing, but let's say it's a hip hop record or it's a rock record, I'm like, okay, this is not really me.
Yeah.
But when I hear a record in my style, the type of chords that I like, the type of sounds that I like, and I didn't do it, I'm like, what an idiot, you know? Yeah.
Are you critical then yourself on yourself?
Oh my God, yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about music from a Jack Back point of view. Who are you liking as producers, and who's doing it for you?
I gotta tell you, at first I have to tell you that story because you know, I was playing house music. I started to play house music in '88.
I remember.
So at the very, very beginning of house music, and then it was the first years. You know, I think we could say that house music was born in '87, '86. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really the beginning. I was one of the two first DJs, probably together with Laurent Garnier, to play house in France. And I played house music until, you know, 90s, probably one of the best moments of house music. At the time was Masters at Work and Danny Tenaglia and David Morales, Frankie Knuckles, all those incredible people. And there's been a comeback of house music a few years ago. But what I was hearing was people that were emulating the sound that we were doing at that time. So at that time, like, you know, I love house, but I've done this before. I'm not so excited about it. And then I heard Camel Fat.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Because they're using the codes of house, but with a new way to approach it. And then I met with those guys from Solardo.
Yep.
And they were completely crazy.
Fun guys, aren't they?
But I love them.
Yep. And
one day, we took the plane together. They asked me for a ride. I'm like, cool, I love your music. Come on the plane. And they played me the music. And I'm like, I can do that?
Yeah.
This is totally my vibe.
Yeah.
And I started Jack Back.
Yes.
Because of them.
Yes.
Because I was like, okay, this is exactly me. Basically, this is what I used to play in the early 90s.
Yes.
You know, but with a new sound. And this is fun. I mean, like, this is not very... I mean, I don't want to sound disrespectful. Okay. But it's not as complicated to do this as it is to make pop music. Because pop music has so many layers of complications, whereas, you know, when you make house, what I love is that it's free, it's raw, it's pure. You just make a groove, and all you want is, you know, make the people dance. You don't need to think about, okay, they have to play in the club, but they also have to play in the radio, but they also have, you know, it has to touch people's heart, it has to make people dance. This is just so complicated.
Yeah.
You know, here we're going back to the basic, the foundation of the heartbeat, making people dance, and that's it.
Yep.
It's raw. I love this.
Yes.
And that's what, you know, made me start Jack Back.
Yes.
And the freedom of it.
Yes, which the thing that you touched upon on the Beatport thing, which is, the freedom must be glorious for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Because the more success you have, the more pressure it is, the more people you need to please.
Yes.
You know? Whereas making a project like Jack Back, I don't need to please anyone but me.
Freeing for you, I guess.
You know? Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David Guetta.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Well, those 6 good. What did you get from them? Put in the comments below the thing you got the most out of this video. I'd love to know, and I'd love to find out more about you and what you need and what you're getting from these videos. As ever, if you want to get the videos first, smash the bell, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. It means you get a little notification when they go live, and you get to see them first. Thanks again for joining us this week on Data Transmission. I've been Grahame Farmer. I'll see you next time. Bye.